It is Wednesday, August 6th in the United States and Canada. Summer ups do make me feel fine, and this is a show called What Chaos, presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code WhatChaos and get $50 instantly when you play $5. Prize Picks, run your game. My name is David Bean. You can call me DJ. Across the internet is Jonny Lazarus, filling in for Pete Blackburn. And across the room is Sean DePaz. Hello, Jonny Lazarus.
I missed the salute memo. I'm a little late there, but Sean, you look great.
Thank you.
DJ, not as good, but happy you guys are recovered from Pete's wedding.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it is more of a Sean thing. We were discussing at Pete's wedding which of the three of us were most susceptible to being turned into a real hardcore Republican at some point in our lives. And the answer is Sean by several miles because he likes saluting. He loves.
I love this country, Johnny. I'm a red-blooded American. It's not
I hope you guys didn't bring me in for the politics episode because I'm not a very political person.
We did actually. I'm going to bring this up. I've had a multi-group chat conversation with a series of my friends as to what the Mount Rushmore of U.S. cities is, like the four most important cities. Obviously, LA and New York are the top two.
Yeah.
New York and LA. Yeah. I'd put it in that order.
Are you saying in general?
Yeah, just like the four most important cities in the country. And after that, it gets way messier than you might think it would.
I don't know about important, but I would really, this is so biased, but I think like real quick, bang, 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 bang. I'm going LA, New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, LA, New York, Boston, Chicago.
Chicago was more or less the unanimous number 3, but then the other group chat that I wasn't a part of that was getting information relayed to me was having conversations about San Francisco, which I think is fucking ridiculous.
I feel like there has to be a city in Texas.
See, Texas, I was thinking Atlanta too. I think there needs to be some kind of southern representation somewhere.
And Atlanta would be the good one there.
But also like Boston, kind of where the country was founded, education capital of America, of the world, really. Like, I just think, really, I wanted to bring this up because I think San Francisco being in that conversation at all is ridiculous.
I agree.
San Francisco, I've never been to San Francisco.
Me either.
I've never been either.
All right, this is classic What Chaos then. It is. Yeah. We have established we do not know what we're talking about. Let's proceed. San Francisco strikes me as more of, that's like an easy city, right?
It's just, I don't understand what's significant about it. The people in
San Francisco?
The people that were trying to argue San Francisco were saying tech. But
yeah, it's a big tech city.
everywhere now.
But first
you
off,
go to
tech
Austin
is everywhere.
for that. You go to Atlanta for that.
And those same people were trying to tell me that Boston shouldn't be in it because Boston's smaller than San Francisco, which is true. But the Boston metro area is larger than the San Francisco metro area, which is where the actual like tech stuff doesn't happen in San Francisco proper. It happens in Silicon Valley, like the general Bay Area.
We have breaking news per Liam in the chat. Our dear friend Liam. Liam says, "I have been to San Francisco." So,
well, what are your thoughts, Liam?
Yeah, Liam, tell us about San. I think of San Francisco. I'm thinking of depositing dingers into the Cove.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of downhill skating in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
It looks cool. San Francisco, cool looking city. I'm not going to deny that. But
I just think of Full House.
Full House. People bring up seafood. You know where seafood started in America? Where America started, the East Coast.
We're getting comments on my looks, by the way. We've got DJ, what a style. Thank you very much. We've got DJ looks like sexy back plays every time his character shows up on camera. I like the idea that we have characters. We have Liam says that there is a cool prison in San Francisco.
True, Alcatraz.
I believe he's referring to Alcatraz.
Not the alligator.
Okay, Johnny, could you do us a favor and tell the folks what's on the show today?
So, what is on What Chaos today? We will go over the wedding recap, which is Pete's wedding, which I actually was invited to about 3 weeks ago, by the way. I got the last minute invite, couldn't make it due to a previous commitment. Video game outrage, which I believe is in regard to Matthew Tkachuk being on the cover of NHL 26. College puck, which I am very aware that that's college hockey. And OMG clean, not sure what that is in reference to. The Boston Bruins jersey, white jerseys probably.
What's that?
The Boston Bruins white jerseys, but I believe I was on the show actually when one Pete Blackburn famously said, "I hate the word clean."
Yes, I'm so glad I was going to just say to you now, I'm so happy and proud. I was going to say to you, Pete has a great point that people use clean as this thing that doesn't have a lot on it, or this thing that is white is, I like it, so I'm going to say it's clean. Clean is not always a compliment, as Pete noted, so I like that. But basically every tweet that has existed about the Bruins white uniforms, which are amazing, is like clean.
Clean.
Just say they rock. Jeff texted me. He said these are awesome. Nice.
I'm one of those people though. Like I will say clean when I like this jersey Sean is wearing right now. I think I said as soon as I saw that is the cleanest jersey I've seen in quite some time.
I am on your page. I think wholeheartedly swearing off clean. I agree generally with the argument that clean is sometimes a lazy way to describe things. Yeah. But in certain instances, like this jersey, like the Bruins jersey, which objectively became simpler than their last jersey and at the same time better, clean's a good way to describe it.
Okay.
To me, it's always positive. Clean is always positive to me when I use it.
Yeah, I would say it's always positive. Sometimes it can just be lazy.
Incorrect. Sometimes you hear a song on the radio and your mom says, I like this Jay-Z song. I'm going to buy him the CD for Christmas. He pops it in, and because we had only heard the clean version, we did not know the song started with boom. What? Well, fuck you, bitch. And then the song begins. So the clean is not always good. Clean can lead you down the wrong road.
Let me ask you a question, DJ. Just while we're talking about this, that jersey behind you, to my left, to your right, that's one of my top 3 favorite NHL jerseys of all time. How would you describe that Florida Panther one? Is that I would say that's a clean jersey that isn't a white jersey, but it's still clean. It's like simple but fresh. Like that's how I would define it.
No, see, I'd say fresh for sure. I don't know about clean. I think, though, that there can be, I'm trying to look around, I think there can be clean jerseys that are not white.
I think the Flames would be a good example of that. I think the Flames are a pretty clean jersey.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, typically I only get kind of, like a Red Wings jersey is clean.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. A blue Leafs jersey is clean.
Yeah. A lot of the original 6 ones I would say are clean and good.
Okay, clean. Rangers jersey, clean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Let's begin with the wedding recap. Pete's wedding specifically, and there have been a lot of weddings, by the way. Shout out Tyler Yaremchuk, also tying the knot over the weekend. Shout out Leon Draisaitl tying the knot over the weekend. We will be spending probably more time on that than on Pete's wedding, but let's begin with Pete's wedding. Sean, can we get a wedding grade? Pete and Ellen Blackburn have tied the knot. It's wedding bells for the Blackburns.
I mean, I'll start off by saying this. The rest of the wedding could have been an F. The food made it an A. It was an A, generally speaking, but the food at that wedding was fucking incredible.
Best food at a wedding I think I've ever done.
Unbelievable.
Can you give a list of what the food items were, please?
I mean, the appetizers off rip were some of the best shit I've ever had. They had mini crab rolls, or lobster rolls, excuse me. Yep. Unbelievable. They had these mini fried chicken stackers that were like a little piece of cornbread with a piece of fried chicken and then a pickle and like some maple syrup drizzle. Unbelievable. These like radish tacos with this amazing guacamole in it. These little like teriyaki tortilla cup things, unreal. For dinner, I had a filet mignon, mashed potatoes, green beans. There was like a chicken dish was the other one. I don't know what it was.
Chicken salt and boca.
Little like appetite, like hors d'oeuvre style desserts after. I had this little cup of like vanilla mousse and strawberries that was fucking incredible. It was absolute A great on the food.
Yeah, I mean the appetizers, that chicken
The
thing,
fried chicken thing was incredible.
it was
Incredible.
the best. It was very chicken and waffles adjacent, but it was a little more, we'll say, sophisticated.
Yes.
Once that shit hit your mouth, though, you're back to being a kid again. There's syrup going on. There's fried chicken going on. There's cornbread. There's a pickle. Absolutely amazing. Yes, the main dish, the filet mignon was unbelievable. My girlfriend had the chicken saltimbocca and said that was spectacular. The music was a great time. Music was great. Dancing was great. You mentioned the dessert situation. I did that little strawberries and cream situation. I also dipped my toe into, there was a little mini mug of maybe a caramel milkshake.
Oh, is that what that was?
That had a striped straw.
That sounds
I never
amazing.
got
Looked
one
like
of
a
those.
barber's pole,
Yeah.
and there was a powdered
Striped
donut
straw.
on
That's
top
what
of
they.
it.
Oh my! I so upset at myself because caramel milkshakes and powdered donuts are two of my favorite desserts on the planet, and I didn't know what it was, and I figured it was something I wasn't gonna like.
Pop yourself up, Sean, for this. I feel like you're going to be talking a bit in this conversation. That was unbelievable.
I'm actually quite upset at that.
I have a question, if I may.
Yes.
When you guys say appetizers or appetizers, as you alluded to, DJ, is there a cocktail hour and they're handing these food out on
Yes.
trays, or are you
Yes.
actually sitting down and getting it? Okay, I was making sure that there was a cocktail hour.
Yes.
Because there was one actual food item missing that my dad has a rule on, which you can only judge in a cocktail hour if this one food item is there. And based on what I'm gathering from you two, this was not there. Do you have any hint at what I'm getting at?
Shrimp cocktail?
Meatballs.
Lamb chops.
What? As an appetizer?
What the fuck?
My dad said every good cocktail hour has lamb chops.
I can say honestly, I've never had a lamb chop in my entire life.
What?
I've only also been to two
Oh
weddings.
my God.
I don't like lamb. I've had lamb
Chops, amazing.
Lamb chops are
Amazing.
great.
Your word for
You
it.
said, Sean, this was your second wedding?
Second real wedding ever.
Okay.
Like,
We're
as
at
an adult
wedding
wedding.
rankings. Go.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Was one like your sister or something?
One was like my good friend from college, and I went to see all of my. It was like a college reunion, basically. So, and I got to go to Minnesota. I got to go to a new place.
Sounds like you like that one better.
There's pros and there was more. I had a bunch more friends at that wedding, so I had a lot of fun at that wedding the weekend. But the venue for this wedding, the food at this wedding, the actual weddingness of it all, it was this was a better wedding.
Can I also say on the cocktail hour front, Pete and Ellen did first look. They knocked out all their photos before the wedding. Pro move. It's a cocktail hour sucks if you are in the wedding party and they have not done the first look, because
that's crazy.
the ceremony usually ends and you're like, okay, now it's time to mingle, now it's time to party, now it's time to get ready to, if you have any responsibilities or whatever, you are just having fun. But when a ceremony ends and then it's like, all right, now go stand outside and take a million pictures, that is not fun. Ceremony ended. I had one job. I had to go inside, get Ellen's friends from her hometown, send them outside. I just walked in. I said, who all from Braintree? People said, over there. I said, get outside. And then from there, I'm hanging with my friends, doing snacks, doing apps, trying things, drinking water, got a Coca-Cola. Great cocktail hour. Cocktail hour grade A. Fun hangs with Sean and the crew. Ceremony was great. Ceremony, I could get into a big thing because there was a wedding coordinator who was provided by the church, who is a very, very dynamic person. And
I heard stories. I saw glimpses just at the actual ceremony.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Big difference between this wedding and the last wedding I went to is the last wedding. This was more of a religious ceremony. The last wedding, they did their vows before the ceremony, so they were a quick proceed in. Their officiant made a couple of jokes and then get out. It was less than 15 minutes, the whole ceremony.
I like hearing the vows though. I agree.
I agree. I think that's part of the magic of a wedding.
Yeah.
So, it was very different. Also, not a religious person. Catholic churches are beautiful. As a venue to hold important ceremonies, they're incredible buildings.
This church was amazing.
Yeah, the venues, both the ceremony and the reception, knocked it out of the park.
The
one more
church
thing in the cocktail hour, if I may.
What's that?
I went to a wedding. I just wanted to say one more thing about the cocktail hour. I went to a wedding. This is the only wedding I've been to that they've done this. They actually, you walk into the wedding and the cocktail hour, you walk into the cocktail hour. The cocktail hour is before the ceremony. So people are kind of drinking. You pop a little mushroom chocolate in. You're microdosing for the ceremony. And it makes everything more enjoyable. Once the ceremony ends, bang, right into the party. I was like, wow, why isn't everyone doing it this way? This is amazing.
I like that in theory. It just depends on what kind of people you have in your life. Because if you got people that can't control themselves at a cocktail hour, you can't have that getting out of hand until the ceremony's out of the way. That would be my only worry. But otherwise, in theory, I do like it.
The big thing is there, Johnny, that was a quick ceremony, right?
It was like 30 minutes, probably.
Telling people who have begun drinking and doing drugs to stop drinking and doing drugs for half hour is a dicey endeavor.
They're not hungry though.
They're not hungry, and they may not really have to stop because, like, it'd be one thing if it's in a church, you can't really bring. But if you're like having a non-religious or off church ceremony type of thing,
I had my glass with me. Actually,
yeah, I was gonna say hold your drink during the ceremony. Yeah.
All right, so I was constantly making jokes with the coordinator people. It was a husband and wife who did not have time for jokes, didn't have time for anything. So I was really just trying to keep the mood light, testing if maybe there was just one or two jokes that they might find funny. It was 0 for 1,000, but it was an absolute pleasure. I walked in at one point with a water bottle, and they were a hard no on water. They said, unless you have a medical condition that requires you to have water, you cannot bring water in here. I said, famously, every human has a medical condition that requires them to have water. No laughs. Nothing. And then they were explaining why no water bottles, no this and that. I said, finally, something the libs and the church can agree on. No plastic water bottles, nothing there. I was having the time of my life, just trying to breathe a little fun into the atmosphere. But it was great. I was talking to Pete after the wedding. I was like, everything about this wedding was so good, was so fun. Even the weird, ridiculous stuff like that gives it so much charm. There being like funny characters who threw a great wedding. Like they organized a great ceremony and everything. No one made any mistakes. Nobody got hurt. Somebody came close. So I guess let's bring this to the highlight of the wedding, perhaps the highlight of the wedding. I'm going to set this up. Should we show what happened, or should I give the setup to...
I think you've set up.
Give a setup?
Yeah.
Okay. One of Pete's friends from back home comes up to me and says, okay, we're thinking of doing something. Figured you might be the right person to bounce this off of. You know, people are having some drinks. I'm keeping on the straight and narrow, so I'm not drinking. So says, let me bounce this off you. We were thinking of putting Pete in a chair and kind of throwing him up and down and raising him up. Should we not do that? And I said, or he said, should we not do that because Ellen has a hand thing and we couldn't also put Ellen in it, so would she feel jealous or would she feel left out? Should we not do it? I said, I don't care about that reason. You should not do it because I am almost positive that neither Pete nor Ellen are Jews. And friend didn't care about that. He was like, oh, no, I'm not worried about that. That'll be fine. But like, can we put Pete in the chair? I was like, you have my blessing. Go for it. I don't think you need my blessing, but if you're concerned about like danger or anything, I think Pete will be okay. The reason I would not do it is we may be risking appropriation at this point. Now, I'll ask you, Johnny, what are your thoughts there?
As the Jew on the show?
I did not know that you were Jewish. I was just asking you.
You know that? Oh, really? You didn't know I was Jewish?
I absolutely was asking you because you're Jewish.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I think I would love that. I've been to plenty of Catholic weddings where I have also been the one to bring the chair out and say, Joe, you're getting in this, you know? And actually, they all don't want to do it. Like the ones that I've presented the idea to. So I imagine, did Pete want to do it or no? All my friends anti-Semitic. Did Pete want to do it or no?
I think Pete was game. I think that your friends come up to you and say, hey, we're going to do a little for he's a jolly good fellow type thing.
Yeah.
You're thinking, I never get called a jolly good fellow. Okay, I'll do that.
I actually have a story for Sean. Weird brag, good story though. Last summer, one of my best friends from Chicago who played at UConn with one Tage Thompson had a Jewish wedding, and we did the hora for Max, and Tage and I and others, from UConn, the team that they graduated with, were actually lifting Max up in the chair doing the hora. So, we made the joke last year. Tage came on our show in the summer, and I said, if there's early back spasms in October from Tage Thompson, we know where it's coming from.
I feel like there's some logistical problems. I feel like you can't have one lifter being that much larger than
I was thinking
else.
that is Tage
Max
just
was
like
almost hitting the ceiling, actually.
Yeah, I believe it.
just like minimally going.
Like he's just holding it and everybody else is lifting.
Yeah. So anyway, here is how this went. If you have not seen it, Sean, could you give me Pete 1? All right. So there's Pete. Down he goes immediately. And
No, the first lift.
Just get Sean. Hit that again. He just goes right down, and you can see there. You can see. Let's see. Where are you, Sean? You're there. The
right
person
here at the bottom of the stairs.
In the orange is my girlfriend Julia, and the person to the right is me there. What makes this impressive for a lot of reasons is, first of all, like that is the most. I was facing him. It was the most violently I have seen someone fall right down. He had a drink.
It was stunning.
Spilled it. It was. It was horrifying.
I don't think you realize, like, going through your day-to-day life, how rarely you see people like be in any sort of danger. Like, people normally go out their life like pretty safely. Seeing someone fall out of a chair that's been lifted off the floor is just like, oh my God, Pete's falling to the ground now.
He just went like straight down. But here's what makes it impressive.
Well, he wasn't holding on. You have to hold on with one hand, and
this is the problem.
I'll tell you this.
Experience.
I'll tell you this. My girlfriend waited until she knew that everybody was okay. Like 10, 15 minutes later, she was like, she's Jewish. She was like, I've been to a lot of Jewish weddings. They never drop the guy.
Never.
They know what they're doing.
Yep.
So you boys
It's
want to
like
play
riding a
fast and
mechanical
loose with
bull.
your
You hold
stealing
on
our
one.
culture, know how to do it at least.
Yeah, it's like riding the mechanical bull. You got to hold on with one hand, and
Yeah.
Okay.
same thing.
Here, though, is what happened immediately after.
2?
Yeah, 2. So Pete goes up, right down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Within 10 seconds, he is right back up. And he was fine.
Yeah.
I have no idea how he didn't suffer major injuries.
How the glass didn't break?
That was the thing. Tell you what, being a sober boy in that moment, we'll have some shots of you and I, Sean, but being a sober boy in that moment, I was like, second this whole thing's done with, I am hammering napkins.
Yes,
I'm getting so many napkins for this area. Here's an alternate angle. This is from behind. There he goes. Right.
Just straight out.
That's the best one.
It just slides out.
I'm actually I'll blame the chairlifters. They're holding it like a little bit too high on the chair. You got to go from the bottom of the legs.
I did not.
They were tilting it forward.
I mean, again, this is what happens when you have nobody with any kind of experience doing something
Right.
like
Yeah,
this.
you do a Jewish wedding.
This was very shoddy work. Here's stills, though, from some of these videos of our reactions. That on the left, you see me covering my face, being like, oh my fucking God. And then Julia right in front of Sean, who is really giving a like, that's what you get kind of face. Sean with the biggest smile.
I mean, it was similar to Julia in that, like, in the moment, I was like, it was pure terror. And then as soon as I realized Pete was still smiling, I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. That is hilarious.
I mean, the blurry one, if you go back there, the blurry one on the left. So I'm covering my face in that moment. Julia looks like she's smiling there, maybe. And then it's where Sean is smiling that Julia has some real.
I think they're doing it again. They're gonna try again. Like there was a slight like, all right, you failed. This should probably be over.
Yeah, it was amazing. Just Tessa says that yes, Pete was trying to upstage Ellen's injury. How funny would that have been if he like landed on his wrist?
Oh my God.
And
Oh
because
my God.
we had a bunch of extra braces there because Ellen's bridesmaids wore Johnny, are you aware that Ellen fucked up her hand, unfortunately? So she had to wear a brace, which, by the way, brace grade, A+. Ellen, beautiful bride, looked amazing, but the brace was such a good part of it that there were a couple of points. I hope I'm not ratting her out. She did take off the brace for a couple of pictures. She looked great with the brace.
Yeah, I mean, she covered it in
her
material
dress
from her dress, so it matched and everything.
It looked
nice. They both Pete. His green tux was fucking incredible.
Outstanding.
They both looked
green
amazing.
tux?
Yeah, green, dark green tux with black trim, black pants, and everything. It looked very good.
So good, amazing. Shout out our guy Penzi, formerly of the Boston Bruins. Penzi Productions, one of the great videographers, really in the business. He shot the wedding, and Pete didn't know how to tie his bow tie. He asked me, "Do you know how to tie a bow tie?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I used to wear ties all the time. Of course I do." Show up the day of, realized I haven't tied a bow tie in like 12 years. Absolutely don't remember how to tie a bow tie. So videographer tied the bow tie, and then I had to stand in afterwards so they could take pictures of us pretending I was tying Pete's bow tie. It was the most emasculating thing I've ever experienced in my life. Shout out to Penzi, truly one of the greats. Outstanding wedding across the board. Ellen's dad gave the best speech in the world.
Yep.
His daughter's wedding speech was basically, "My daughter is a lib. What a fucking loser." Hilarious stuff.
Basically, honestly, it was very good though. I did like the camels. Not to get too deep into it, but Pete ultimately gifted his new father-in-law a pack of Camel cigarettes.
Yeah,
as a play on gifting the father a camel.
Yes,
in exchange for the bride. It was very cute. I liked it.
So that is funny.
Yeah.
When he said, he was like, I wanted a camel, and Pete gave me this. He took out a pack of cigarettes. I gave
yeah.
Like crowd went wild for that one.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Good stuff. All right, that is the half-hour Pete wedding recap. Just A+.
Oh my God, that was 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're just getting started. In other wedding news, Leon Draisaitl and Celeste Desjardins also tied the knot in France. McDavid negotiations apparently on hold because Connor McDavid is continuing to be busy. Sean, if you have the video of the honeymoon from Celeste Desjardins on Instagram, you could see a little bit of text there. If you're watching, there's a video of some people on jet skis. There's text there, and can we zoom in, Sean, to see what the text says, or do we not have that? That is, she tagged Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid because the McDavids are on the Draisaitl's honeymoon. How do we feel about this behavior?
If anything, if you're an Oilers fan, that's incredible. That's exactly.
He's not going anywhere.
That's what you want. Yeah, it's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, I think that's amazing. They can go on solo trips the rest of their life. I think that there's only so many times you could be like, yo, we know Connor McDavid. Although I'll say I love Connor McDavid. I don't know how good of a vacation hang he is. Sean, are you bringing Connor McDavid on your honeymoon?
I feel like he's probably a great one because he probably is just like, yeah, Leon, whatever you want. Yeah, fine, sure, let's do that. Like, you want to go out to the fucking, sure, yeah. I feel like it's probably a great, like, if you're gonna have somebody on your honeymoon, it's got to be somebody who's gonna do whatever you want.
Yeah,
so agreeable.
Yes.
Tough weekend for Kasperi Kapanen, who, not tough weekend, tied the knot as well, but he had his wedding planned for the same time. I'm sure they planned the wedding before he was on the Oilers. How many Oilers do we think were at his wedding?
Well, wasn't there I saw some fuss that Nuge, I think, was not at Connor's. You think Nuge was at Kapanen's?
Nuge was not at... was not at Connor's? Or at Leon's?
Yeah. Leon's, I meant. Leon's.
Interesting.
I think I saw someone tweet, because everyone obviously was, looking to see who was at Draisaitl's wedding. I mean, we could obviously, do some more digging, but I think I saw someone say no sign of Nugent Hopkins at Draisaitl's wedding. I think maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Interesting,
but
Sean, if you
I
could
think that's what
that.
I saw.
Someone in the chat asks, Jonny Laz, would you bring Colby Cohen on your honeymoon?
No, definitely not. Hard no, hard pass.
The Nugers were at Draisaitl's wedding.
They were. Okay, false information by me.
Picture confirmation. Shout out Oilers.
Please ignore. I thought I saw somebody not at the wedding, but maybe it might have been, honestly, it could have been like the Bennett or Tkachuk wedding, honestly, that someone said that.
Tyler Ennis was also at the Leon Draisaitl wedding.
I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Okay, outstanding wedding stuff there. Is that all the wedding stuff that we have to cover? We got it in under a half hour. Amazing. If you are on a honeymoon, as Pete is right now, he is in Maine for the week, I recommend popping on some Shady Rays. I was in Rhode Island the last few days, just crushing the beach at Narragansett. I'm talking sunglasses, Shady Rays, Steely Dan on the ears, and having an absolute blast. Shady Rays is the number one sunglass brand in the whole frickin' wide world. Why? Quality shades, built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. It's another great part about it. This is a good deal. They're economical, but they're going to last you forever. Hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. They probably even have a style in your favorite team's colors. I've got a little bit of orange. It works for me if I'm wearing my Texas hat, as I was at the beach, or if I'm wearing any Oilers stuff. I wear them all the time. I wear them whether I am blading, whether I'm at the beach. I golfed once this summer. I was wearing Shady Rays for that, and I want you to wear them too. So exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use code AC35 for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
Johnny, what do you know about pits, belly buttons, balls, butt cracks, and grundles?
Decent amount, considering I believe I have all of them that were listed.
Oh,
I believe so.
Oh.
I don't know a lot about the specifics about them, I suppose. I'm not a biologist. Is that what?
Okay.
Who studies the human body? Would that be a biologist?
Biology.
Kinesiology. No? Kinesiology.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, it's more like the movement of
That's like joints and stuff, right?
A doctor. A doctor
doctor
knows a lot about it. All I know is that they're supposed to smell good, which is where our friends Mando comes in because Mando is a men's deodorant brand that's hyper-focused on keeping every aspect of a man's body smelling fresh and clean. They have man-specific, man-aimed, is that the right way to put it? Man-specific?
Very man-forward.
Forward, yeah. Man-centric scents. Like bourbon leather, clover woods, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport. You can use it everywhere. Like I said, ball, back, grundles, all of that. Anywhere on the outside of your body, I think we've decided that we probably shouldn't eat it. Don't put it in your eyes, things like that. But anywhere on the outside of your body, it'll get you smelling good. And you can get started with Mando Starter Pack. It's the perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. And as a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code WhatChaos at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
Oh, boy. Let's talk some video games. We're famously a big video game podcast. Johnny, do you play anything? Do you game?
I used to. Used to be, obviously NHL, NBA 2K. Those are my games. But I haven't had Xbox in like 3 years, so I haven't really been playing much.
I'm not a video game head. We're watching. I did not watch this season of The Last of Us, but my girlfriend has decided to. She doesn't like scary stuff, but she was like, "Could I do The Last of Us?" I was like, "Yeah, you go watch that. It's not very scary.
More of like emotionally wrecking than it is.
Exactly right. Like you just see like a child die every episode. That's all. So we do that, but I haven't played any video games in a million years. But we have a cover athlete for NHL 26, and his name is Matthew Tkachuk. EA Sports announcing that he will be the 2-time Stanley Cup champion, the cover athlete for NHL 26. And
we have an update on this.
Oh,
yeah.
He will be the cover athlete on the standard version of the video game. Do you remember what I said to you about the cover immediately before the show started?
This show?
Yes. Who should have also been on the cover?
Brady Tkachuk.
Brady Tkachuk. You know who I didn't mention is their father, Keith Tkachuk. All 3 of them are on the deluxe edition.
What?
And I think that's kind of cool.
That is very cool.
I think it's
cool.
funny that they have Keith in like playing shape and uniform and everything. They didn't just do like this is the dad.
That's the thing, because Keith Tkachuk gets a lot of airtime these days.
Yeah.
We know what he looks like currently. All right. I like that. I like the Tkachuks across the board. How do you feel about it, Johnny?
I do too. I know, I guess I understand why there are people who are angry about it. But whether you like it or not, like him or not, hate him or love him, Matthew Tkachuk has become one of the most talked about players in the NHL over the past 3 years. And I have a hard time arguing against that. When it first came out, I said, like, is there a more influential, whether it's a good or bad way, player in the NHL in the last 3 years? Someone who's done more media, someone who's brought more attention to hockey than Matthew Tkachuk? Like, I can't name one. I really can't.
Yeah, I think that he is at the very least a face of hockey. And I think that any conversation around him now incorporates, well, a lot of it incorporates like that he's a Trump guy or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I'll remind people, and in the interest of full disclosure, I am not a Trump guy. I'll remind people that, like, whether it's boxers over the years, whether it's Ray Lewis, like, a lot of star athletes have had stuff about them that we have not liked, such as, did they possibly murder somebody? You know, like, it has never been if you are a star athlete, it means that you are someone who should be universally loved, or somebody who has any sort of like moral thing or whatever. Like that just is not the way it is. And I'm sure we all wish it were, but it is not. So you can kind of dismiss that out of hand right off the bat. You mentioned like doing media. As the other thing I was going to mention was that people bring up like, he's not that good, or he's not like a top X player in the league.
Get out of here.
He is not a top 5 player in the league. Of course, nobody in the world thinks he's a top 5 player in the league, but he is one of the best players in the league. He's in, let's say, I want to say he's like a top 20-ish player, something like that. And if not that, even if he's a top 40 player in the league, that makes him a star player in the league. There's only so many teams in the league, and there are only so many faces of each team. And yeah, the face of the Florida Panthers is that they're just freaking loaded, but he represents a type of player that is, I don't want to completely say a dying breed, but like the obnoxious, physical, can score a bunch of goals, is going to get in your head type of thing. Like, I get it, man. Like you're talking to someone whose probably favorite player in the league generally has been Brad Marchand for a while. You know, my favorite player in the league is Leon Draisaitl, but you know what I'm talking about. Like, I can't see Matthew Tkachuk on the cover of a video game and say that guy shouldn't be on there. Like, if you're trying to sell video games, you get the loud, proud, obnoxious guy.
Remove politics from this. Like, is there any outrage about Matthew Tkachuk?
I mean, I think people at a certain point are tired of the Florida Panthers. I think there's a lot of people that are just like over that experience already, which I think is ridiculous and crybaby shit. But
I think you gotta keep them up. Like, someone's got to knock them down if you want.
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, like, and there might be Canadians that don't like it, especially after. But that's part of what I want to bring up is that, like, first off, guys have been put on this cover for far less. Respectfully, looking at you, Tyler Zegras, and like I said, I was talking to DJ before the show. I don't think that hockey has been as relevant on a national or global scale, at least in the United States specifically, has not been as relevant since, like, as it was during Four Nations and the Tkachuks beat the shit out of a couple of Canadians, or tried to at least. Since like TJ Oshie? Like, when was the last time hockey was that relevant? Like, amongst people who didn't even really care about hockey, and that is
probably when Ovi won the cup. I would say too.
Yeah, fair. Okay, that's probably up there too. Like, but like. That all starts with Matthew Tkachuk. How are you going to argue that he shouldn't be on the cover? And the fact that people care so much is the reason why people hate him, and that's why he should be on the cover, because he's polarizing. It gets people talking about it.
Somebody in the chat said that I compared being a Trump supporter to being a murderer. No, I did not. I'm saying that I did not do that. I said that star athletes have been things good and bad. So the idea that a star athlete must check every box. Like, star athletes have not checked boxes in such insane ways, such as potentially murdering somebody, is what I'm saying. So I did not say.
I think most normal people got that.
I think okay, most people got that.
Let me actually tie this in, if I may, to a little quote from Harvey Dent. And I think this is actually very relatable, which I actually just thought of off the top of my head. But 23, I don't think anyone hated Matthew Tkachuk. I think when the Panthers went on that first, unless you're a Bruins fan, when the Panthers went on that first run, everyone was in love with the Cinderella story that they were. Matthew Tkachuk doing NBA on TNT, wearing elbow room t-shirts. He was bringing energy to South Florida. He was making the Panthers a well-known brand on that run. But where Harvey Dent comes in, you either die a hero, which the Panthers could have died after losing in that cup final, or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Isn't that the quote? That's the quote, right?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
So he lives long enough. They win 2 cups. And now all of a sudden, Matthew Tkachuk went from this hero on a Cinderella run to a villain that everyone in the NHL wants to take down. And guess what? I can't remember the last time the NHL had a villain this good at hockey. Like the Florida Panthers, they were a great story. Guess what? Now everyone better fucking bring their best because someone's got to take this team down. And I think that's where we're at in the NHL, and that's what's going to be so fun this year. Who can actually beat this Florida Panther team? Because right now, on paper, I don't see anyone that can do it. I think they're 1 year away from a three-peat. But Matthew Tkachuk is going to become, from a guy who was very loved by everybody, and he's loved in South Florida, always will be, to hated by anyone who isn't a Florida Panther fan. I think that's where we're going to head. And again, like as a person who works closely in hockey, love Matthew Tkachuk. I think his personality is amazing, that he is willing to do all these things. He's willing to go on the Kelsey Brother podcast, the Pat McAfee show, all these different outlets and promote the game that, you know, McKinnon won't do, McDavid won't do, all the best players in the league won't necessarily do. So it's great in that sense. As a New York Ranger fan, I hate Matthew Tkachuk. Are you kidding me? I fucking hate him as a Ranger fan, but I respect everything he's done for the game and for what he's brought to South Florida, because in 2022, that team won the President's Trophy and no one gave a shit about them.
Right.
That's my rant.
No. And they're like candidates for it, of course. And if you wanted to say Kirill Kaprizov would have been a good cover, great. If you want to say the Gaudreau brothers would have been really cool, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's disrespectful that they put somebody other than the Gaudreau brothers on there, but I think that would have been really neat if they did it.
It's also something a little odd about putting the Gaudreau brothers on the cover, like trying to sell a game with their image. Like, that would have been a little odd.
And we don't know, maybe the family wouldn't have been into that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that could have gone poorly. The one that I saw that I think would have been cool was Ovi. Like that one would make a whole lot of sense.
But he's already had 2. He's already had 2.
I get that, and I think you maybe wait till he retires, and then you do like what 2K does, and they put like a Hall of Famer on like a deluxe version of the cover. You can do that as like a kind of a nod to his career. But yeah, I mean, especially with like the deluxe version being all the Tkachuks, like this is very clearly like the first family of hockey at this point.
Yes,
there's nothing you're gonna do about that, and kind of like what you're talking about, like. It'd be one thing if these people had changed as they got more relevant, they started winning more. But like, as far as I can tell, the Tkachuks have been the Tkachuks this whole time, and then and more people just started paying attention. So like get upset if you want, but it is what it is. Like they clearly deserve this kind of acknowledgement. Because like even taking Matthew out of it, you go to like the other Tkachuks, like Keith is one of the most underrated players of all time. Brady got the lowly Ottawa Senators finally back to the playoffs. And like he was the other part of that amazing moment at Four Nations. Like I don't really know how you could sit here with a straight face and argue based off hockey reasons that they don't deserve it.
Okay, so we are all in agreement that he is a very logical cover athlete for NHL 26. I certainly think that he is. A couple of fun wrinkles, though. Not fun wrinkles, but
good point from Samantha, by the way.
What's that?
In the chat. Samantha in the chat. Good point, too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, people hate, like, the fact that people are talking about it. She said that y'all are having this conversation, exactly why they put him on the cover. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, respectfully, this is not a conversation if Kaprizov's on the cover, even if Draisaitl's on the cover. And I don't think, and we certainly saw it with Trevor Zegras being on there, it's not here is who is the best player in the league right now. Because then that would be boring. and it would be one of 3 people every year. And realistically, every time it wasn't Connor McDavid, we'd be like, well, that's kind of stupid. It should be McDavid again.
Again, Trevor Zegras was on the cover.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, as has been established, it is not it's not an MVP award. We're making a freaking video game. What's exciting right now? Matthew Tkachuk, always exciting. Couple of wrinkles though.
Last year was the Hughes brothers, by the way. Like, how is that, other than, again, for hockey reasons, how is that any different than this, outside of the fact that they have not won anything, unlike the Tkachuks?
Okay. He is injured, though. He's not going to be playing for part of, if not a lot of this season. Elliot Friedman on the 32 Thoughts podcast recently says, we're going to find out at some point here that Matthew Tkachuk will miss the start of the season. I think he'll be back in time for the Olympics. I think he's going to miss the start of the year and a chunk of time after that, which ties into a few things. One, Evan Rodriguez, you are a Florida Panther, probably. They're just probably not going to have to trade anybody. They'll just LTIR Matthew Tkachuk, keep Evan Rodriguez, accrue cap space, figure all that shit out, and they're not going to have to get rid of everybody. And then for this year, they'll be able to fuck around with cap space one last time.
Which would rock. Like, at this point,
guess who they're getting at the deadline?
I just need them to be enemies forever. Like, I need it to keep getting worse. Like, they tried to fix the LTIR rules, and somehow the Panthers still take advantage of it. And people just hate them more and more.
Who do you think they're getting at the deadline?
Who just said it's their last year with a certain team that's getting older in age that comes from Russian descent?
Evgeny Malkin? That would be unbelievable.
I think he'll end up as a Panther 10 the year. I really do.
So does that mean you are?
They need to do double retention.
I think something. I just could see him going. Like, again, the players. It's not like It's almost like if you can't beat them, join them right now. I feel like with Florida, right? Like,
I mean, Marchand definitely set that precedent.
Yeah, so why wouldn't Malkin go there? Why not? His contract's up. He already said it's his last year in Pittsburgh. Just finish the year in Florida, then figure it out after.
So are you of the camp that Crosby is also gone by the end of this year?
No, Crosby's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere.
Why would Malkin leave his boy then?
Because he already said it last year. He wants to go play in the playoffs. Like, why not? Like, it's.
I mean,
Crosby's contract isn't up. Malkin's contract is up.
Malkin's cap hit is significantly less than I thought it was. Do you know what it is?
What is it? 6.1?
6.1.
Damn.
What
they
the hell?
They can make that work easily.
How did that happen?
I've just mentally thought he's been $11 million for the last 6 years.
He signed a 4-year, $6.1 million contract in 2022. That was when, remember, there was rumors that Malkin was gonna, try out free agency.
Yes.
And they all Letang signed that deal as well. I think a similar deal.
I mean, okay, so
the fact that they weren't able to put together even a respectable hockey team at the end of these guys' careers is crazy to me.
So they'd be able to get him for under $2 million.
He was making 9.5 before that, DJ, by the way. He was making 9.5 before 2022.
Yeah.
Damn. So he will be able to fit in with double retention for what? What's 3.05 divided by 2? So like $1.5 million. So they'd be able to fit him. I don't know what they'd be able to give up for him. They don't have shit anymore, man. They've got they got no prospects. They've got no draft picks, but that would rock. Very interesting on that front. And then the other thing from Jay Fresh. Did you know that an NHL cover athlete's team has only made it past round 2 once in the season he's appeared on the cover? That was Patrick Kane in NHL 10. And past round 1 3 times, adding Vladimir Tarasenko in 2017 and Cale Makar in 2024 to the list. I have been saying, Johnny, do you know what a fallow year is?
No, I don't.
It's an agricultural thing. It's where it's done for the Glastonbury Festival, the music festival. Once every 5 years or so, they will not hold the festival, so the grounds and the grass and the fields can recover. So this festival happens every year, and then once every 5 years, they just say, you know what? We're going to rest up, and then we're going to go hard next year. I don't know when, but in one of the next 2 or 3 years, I'm saying the Florida Panthers are going to have a fallow year. There is going to be a year, this year, next year, whenever, that they like lose in the first round or the second round. And then the next year they'll win the cup because they're absolutely unbelievable and they're loaded. One of these years, I think they are not going to have this Stanley Cup run, which is not a knock on them. It is to say that you don't go to the Stanley Cup final. They've now done it 3 years in a row. You don't go 5 years in a row. I don't think. So is this the year?
The Islanders did that. They lost in the fifth one to Edmonton.
What's that?
The Islanders won 5 years in a row. They lost in the fifth one to the Oilers.
So do you think that this could be the foul year, or is that next year?
No, I think three-peat. Like, when was the last time a team three-peated? I think the three-peat is what's going to drive them. Because three-peat, that's like, what's a word that's stronger than like legacy? That's a
no. That is a dynasty.
Yeah, no,
I think
better. If you win 3 in a row, that's like almost better than a dynasty. I think. Like, if you win 3 and 6, you're a dynasty. If you win 3 in a row, that's like a fucking.
I think
better
that,
than a dynasty?
I think that people love the word dynasty and they want to call things dynasties. And realistically, you need to like really fucking be that team that has a stranglehold on the league.
Yeah.
And if you win 3, yes. If you win 3, as you said, in 4 years, in 5 years, in 6 years, I'm considering you a dynasty. So
yeah, I agree.
But even so, if you win 3, then no, you don't need to win another one in the next few years. But you just need to stay relevant. You need everyone to be afraid of you. But this could be the year per Jay Fresh because of the cover curse, which I don't typically believe in. But I do believe in Prize Picks. I believe in DFSing NFL preseason. I did it on last Thursday? The Chargers and the Lions in the Hall of Fame game. Almost did it. Their rookie running back, the Chargers, Amarion Hampton, he cost me. But other than that, I was right about Trey Lance.
Yeah.
We knew that Trey Lance was going to be a dog this preseason.
The people who drafted him. You were right about Trey Lance.
Did you see who the Chargers signed yesterday?
Oh, I did, but I forget.
Guy I like to call Keenan Allen.
Oh.
I'm so glad he's back. It bums me out as a Chargers fan that Keenan Allen has outlasted Mike Williams in the NFL. Very depressing. Big bummer. But I'm going to be DFSing hard on my Chargy boys. What do you got?
Who's starting for the Cleveland Browns in their game?
Is it Joe Flacco?
No.
Is it Shadur Sanders?
Shadur Sanders.
What the Christ is going on with the Cleveland Browns? They are an absolute disaster. I saw a screenshot of their depth chart. Their offense is horrifying looking. So bad. But you know what's so good? Prize Picks. Number one place, the DFS. I do it all the time. And you can mix and match different sports. You just pick more than or less than for various things. You've seen us do it with hockey where we'll say more than X amount of saves, less than X amount of blocked shots. It is a very easy time. We encourage you to do it. And you can do so by downloading the app today and using code WhatChaos. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code WhatChaos to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
I would suggest taking the higher on anything Roman Anthony because the Red Sox just signed him to an 8-year extension.
Whoa.
Locked our boy up. Sox are rolling. Who do you root for, by the way, baseball-wise? Are you Yankees or Mets?
I'm really just Knicks and Rangers.
Okay,
everything else, I'm just
Love
like
that.
I was hoping to talk
I'm a bandwagon football, bandwagon baseball.
Fair enough. Sox are hot. Just like Factor meal kits after you put them in the microwave for 2 minutes because those things are amazing. Summer's here. Not trying to spend a whole lot of time inside. I tried to cook a real meal the other day. Wildly overrated. Cooking sucks. I fucking ad read aside. I fucking hate cooking. I genuinely do not like it. It gives me so much anxiety. I don't do good with the timing things out properly. So then I'll have my meat sitting here for half an hour while I'm waiting for sides to cook, or then there's a mess and I don't want to clean it up because I just spent the last 2 hours cooking and eating said cooking. It's a mess. Don't have to worry about any of that with Factor. Pop it in for 2 minutes and then you just throw it away because it comes in a little plastic container. It's not frozen either. It's fresh, real cooked meals. It's perfect. They also have smoothies, which are great for breakfast. The strawberry banana smoothie they have, fucking incredible. They arrive fresh, ready to eat. Weekly, and they have over 45 different menu options each week. You can go from gourmet meals, things like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto. So any kind of diet restrictions you have, they got it for you. They power your day from sun up to sundown. So you can get started with Factor Meal Kits at factormeals.com/whatchaos50off and use code whatchaos50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code whatchaos50off at factormeals.com/whatchaos50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factor Meal Kits, factormeals.com/factor/whatchaos50off.
We're doing a pro move when we're going to Italy for a couple of weeks, coming back. Then there's like 2 or 3 days, and then we have to go to a wedding. We are timing it to have our Factor Meal Kits arrive.
Decent.
So when we get back, we're just going to hammer Factor. Don't need to worry about making things. Don't need to worry about doing nothing. Just eating good, coming back. Life is easy.
You can they don't come frozen. They come like refrigerated, but you can freeze your.
You can
Factor
tuck them
to make
away.
them last a little longer because
you can tuck them
otherwise
away.
They're fresh. They will go bad if you leave them in the fridge too long.
Johnny, you are our foremost college hockey expert. So we wanted to ask you, are we preparing ourselves for the greatest season in college hockey now that we are seeing so many players make the jump because they can from CHL to NCAA? You've got returning players already of like James Hagans, Cole Hudson, Cullen Potter, I should say, ASU. Joey Muldowney, you reminded me. We watched him, Sean, in the Hockey East tournament.
Yep.
That was my guy. Incoming freshmen, including Gavin McKenna, Roger McQueen, Caden Lindstrom, Porter Martone, Keaton Verhoff, Cole Reshney, Jackson Smith, possibly Michael Misa soon. I don't totally know what's going on with that. What, you think he's going pro?
I genuinely don't know. I haven't heard anything, but I would assume if you haven't heard about college yet, we're already in August, so I would assume he's not going to college.
That's what I was thinking too. I was reading up on it.
I know McQueen just signed to Providence, but
yes,
I just don't think Misa at this point, because guys are reporting to school in like 2 weeks.
That's so crazy.
But
this
is, I'm not crazy that when I look at this list of players and some household names on the list, and then players like Verhoff, who, if you don't know him yet, you are absolutely going to know him because he's going to be a star and probably going to be the second overall pick in this upcoming draft. Gavin McKenna, obviously. Any local fans in Boston know who Jimmy Hagans is. So like this should be a monster year in college hockey. We've gone to some games, but we're like going to go to several.
Yeah. Also, other names too, like Cole Eiserman's going back to BU. Will Horkoff went in the first round from Michigan. He's going back. A couple kids too that went out of the USHL. Riker Lee, a first rounder to Nashville. He's going to Michigan State. Vaslav Nestrasil played for the winning Muskegon Lumberjacks in the USHL. Got drafted 25th overall. He's going to UMass. Did you say Jackson Smith?
Yeah.
You said Jackson Smith? Okay,
Penn
yeah.
State.
He's going to Penn State, obviously. Malcolm Spence leaving the OHL and going to Michigan. Rangers draft pick in the second round. Like, that's another one who played with Matthew Schaefer. He's a guy to keep your eye on. So there's a lot of big names like college hockey. And, I want to say too, like Gavin McKenna announcing his commitment on ESPN. Like, when has that ever happened in college hockey where a player announces their commitment on national television, let alone ESPN? It's going to be an unbelievable year. There's probably never been more eyeballs on college hockey than what we'll see this season. And, as someone who gets to do the broadcast for a bunch of games, I'm so beyond excited to just be paying close attention and being, right there in it with college hockey. Also, I should mention too, the Spangler Cup. They're putting together a college hockey all-star team to go to the Spangler Cup this year as well. It's during World Juniors, so it won't be any World Juniors eligible players. So it's probably going to be, like the 21 and up guys that are playing college hockey that go. But that's another thing to keep your eye on this year as well, because that's going to be an unbelievable tournament too.
I think that what's cool about this coming season and what's going to happen now that we have these players, because like some of them are going to be one and dones and some of them are going to be there for a couple of years and then they're going to make the jump. There's going to be, I can't think of any league where this really happens, but I feel like a lot of people are going to be following college hockey without necessarily having a team, like people are going to watch these games to watch Gavin McKenna when they're not Penn State fans, and they're going to watch, I don't know, like if you're a Bruins fan, you might be a BU fan or whatever, but like you're watching BC to watch Jimmy Hagans. And I think that there's going to be, Sean, is there another league that's like that? Maybe for fantasy reasons, people will watch.
I think basketball I think the NBA is kind of in that situation. I think people have teams, but like I think there's a lot of people who follow players around. They'll switch their allegiance based on the players.
My cousin, born and raised in Long Island, New York, is a diehard Oklahoma City Thunder fan because of Russell Westbrook.
Yep,
and even
I
when
know.
Russell left, he stayed true to Oklahoma City. He was actually like, I think his mom took him to Game 7 this year. Like,
I know. I have two friends, one from Arizona and one from Philadelphia, who are exactly the exact same thing. Fell in love with Russell Westbrook and now are diehard Thunder fans because of it. So, I mean, that could be part of this too. Is like, yeah, going into the season, people might not have teams, but you're going to come out of it, and there's going to be a lot of Penn State fans.
Yeah, that's my Chargers fandom. I loved Phillip Rivers coming out of college and watched Chargers games.
Your Oilers fandom,
because I liked, I was like, what's this Draisaitl thing? Why isn't Peter Chiarelli trading him? I'm going to watch him. And now, if like we talked last year on the show, where like if Draisaitl leaves, that's going to suck, blah, blah, blah. But like I would have stayed an Oilers fan, definitely.
And I think it's an interesting part of it too is what Colton brings up in the chat. He says, as a Canadian, I'm going to be very invested in the NCAA. Like, I'd have to imagine that there was little to no interest in college hockey amongst Canadian hockey fans.
Not much,
especially compared to what it is now. And now it's just like your best players, and I'm not saying that as like a fuck you, but like the best players from the OHL, guys that those Canadian fans probably have been following the last couple of years, are now playing somewhere else, and so they're going to be invested in the NCAA in a way that they weren't prior.
And I'll say too, Sean, just to kind of like go off of that, Colton's a friend of mine. He does a show called Game Day Tarps. He had Craig Button on, I think, not too long ago, and Craig Button, I saw a clip today, said like, also, don't be surprised if some of these guys actually leave the NCAA if they're still eligible to go back to the CHL if it's not everything they thought it would be. Some of, and I'm not trying to like, I'm not trying to say they're like entitled, but I think some of the Canadian players might not understand how difficult playing D1 really is, and that's something to watch this year too. We talk about Gavin McKenna, and everyone just seems to think Gavin McKenna is going to light it up, which he very well probably will do. But in the odd chance that McKenna puts up 40 points, maybe. Like, what are we saying then? Because James Hagan's a year ago, everyone was saying this kid's going first overall. All of a sudden, he puts up, 37 points, and now drops to 7, and everyone else that got drafted ahead of him were playing in a different bracket of hockey, So I'm very curious to see how the conversation shifts. Like, I'm not rooting against Gavin McKenna by any means, but, like, I'm curious to see what the conversation shifts to if he doesn't have a 60, 70-point year.
And I have to imagine
that's what Macklin did. That's what Eichel did. Kyle Connor had those numbers.
Yeah.
Like, these guys lit up college hockey, but, it wasn't looked at to be – they were obviously highly touted going into it, but not like Gavin McKenna. I don't think anyone has been as highly touted going into a college season as Gavin McKenna.
I also have to imagine there's like, and maybe I'm wrong about this. I guess I don't really know exactly what the life of like OHL or CHL players is like, but I have to imagine there's a fuck ton more distractions playing at a D1, especially a college like Penn State or Michigan State. Like, that's got to be a whole different animal when you're now living by yourself, and you're like, especially in Gavin McKenna's situation, especially with how popular Penn State hockey is probably in Pennsylvania at this point, like, gonna be a big man on campus, and like that's got to be a whole different kind of pressure than what CHLers are used to.
But for as much as you warn players about that, of like, hey, you might get there and find like this is hard, and you're playing against bigger and older people. The other side of that is, though, say Gavin McKenna does light it up, and not that players should look at Gavin McKenna and say, hey, I'm going to do what Gavin McKenna did, but say a lot of these guys go there and they bulk up because they don't have to play as often as you do in junior, and you're just playing on the weekends, and you're spending all week in the weight room and getting huge. And we see that some of these CHL players like really turn into NHL players before our eyes from spending a year or two in the NCAA. Just more guys are going to go there. And then the other side of it is if players get there and leave and don't like it, I got no problem with that, because I'm not a huge college football guy, not a huge college basketball guy, but the transfer portal has made it so we expect that anyway, where like even if you have a player that you like, he might be there for a good time, not a long time.
And we've seen this in football specifically, and basketball too. But like, what happens when a kid comes over and gets promised the world by an NIL collective? And I know that the landscape of NIL is rapidly changing, like, as we speak. But like, what happens when a kid gets fucked over by an NIL agreement and he says, "Fuck this, I'm going back"? Like, how does that change? Like, or how at least Canadian kids approach the NCAA? Like, I think there's just so many things that are specific to like the landscape of NCAA that you can tell, like you said, you can tell people about, but they're only going to be so prepared for it until they actually have to deal with it.
Yeah. And, again, to DJ's point too, like to counter it a little bit, Gavin McKenna was a big man in Medicine Hat as well too, right? Like it's not like he's recognized everywhere he goes. I think he'll be used to that as well. The difference with Penn State is like maybe the college party life.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was gonna. What happens when you have like a bunch of frat bros or sorority girls telling you to come to a party on Friday night?
Every kid is
I'm not
different,
saying he's
though,
going to be irresponsible, but like it's a completely different kind of temptation.
Yeah, but UMass wasn't Penn State, but like I was there with Kale his freshman year. Kale was such a pro on and off the ice. Like Kale was not putting himself in any situation where he'd either get in trouble or have anything affect his hockey career. Like that guy was dialed in. Like
I think hockey is definitely different than football or basketball in the sense that like I think they start like really preparing you to be a professional and kind of treating you as a professional way earlier in your career, especially if you played in the CHL. So like, I'd have to imagine they're a little more prepared for it than in other situations, but still you can only be so prepared then you actually have to deal with it.
Johnny, who are you most looking forward?
What's that? I was just going to say one last thing. If you guys aren't aware of it, it's something I've actually watched like for years. Penn State has a great media team, I guess, for lack of a better term. They do this thing called it's kind of like Behind the B, but it's the Penn State hockey version. It's called the Penn State Hockey Story. They've been doing it like literally since like probably 2010. And Gavin McKenna, if you are a hockey fan, Penn State fan, college hockey fan, whatever, that is something that you should be tuned into every week. So it'll be really cool. And I also heard that McKenna might actually have his own camera crew like following him around, which would be pretty cool. So again, like that's even just more eyeballs to college hockey. But DJ, what were you saying?
That's a little Caleb Williamsy. I'm worried about that. I can't. Who are you most looking forward to watching? I mean, I think we all want to see what Gavin McKenna is, but who are you most looking forward to watching this year?
Man, that's a tough question. I like it's easy to say McKenna, like it is. I'm so curious as to what he'll look like in college hockey. But part of me is like I think Cole Hudson was just like unbelievable last year. Like everything he did seemed to be highlight worthy. And his confidence, like Cole Hudson, I don't want to say he's like a quieter guy, but the confidence he has on the ice is so loud, so much different than Lane. Like it's almost like maybe a little bit more a cockiness swagger to him, which I love. Like I'm all for that. Like I did a UMass BU game at UMass this year. The day I went on in your guys' studio, actually, when I left to UMass, which was so kind of you guys to have me in studio. And Cole scored 2 goals in the third period. They were down in the game. Cole put the team on his back, and like literally a defenseman scored 2 goals, and BU ends up winning that game. Like he is someone that is going to be playing in the NHL before the season ends next year, and he is electric. Like I think he could win the Hobey Baker this year.
Yeah, the Hobey Baker is going to be interesting because I'd say to watch out for Yzerman. Someone who I hate to say that he has a lot to prove, but I feel like since
he scored a lot last year. I think he had like 20 goals.
Yeah, but I mean, like ever since he fell in the draft, and people were like, "Why did he fall in the draft?" And it was like, "Oh, okay, well, teams don't like him." And then I remember even leading up to this draft where it's like, "Hey, if they're trying to move up to get Hagens, could they dangle him?" No, I don't think that his value is as high or whatever. Like I could just see him absolutely go off, win the Hobey Baker. But high on my list, Caden Lindstrom. Like I feel like people have kind of forgotten about him. 4th overall pick. Had a back injury last year, but is going to be playing probably. I don't know if he'll be line mates with him, but like will be playing with Porter Martone, I would think. So watch out for Michigan State. They're going to be awesome. And then Keaton Verhoff, because someone had a tweet the other day that was like, he's
projected second, right? After McKenna.
Yeah. Yep. I forget who it was. It might have been Jay Fresh. I'm going to just keep referencing his tweets, but I think he said like the most valuable thing in hockey is like the big, rangy two-way defenseman who can do everything and blah. And like, do those guys really exist anymore? And people were like, well, maybe Rasmus Dahlin. And I think that Keaton Verhoff is supposed to be that. So he'll be amazing to watch. Like if he looks like Rasmus Dahlin in college, he is going to be like, imagine that type of player existing in college hockey would be amazing. And
I feel like he's also like not really talked about maybe as much as the guy who's projected to go.
He's not at all
behind. Like he's like the Jack Eichel.
The way that people used to talk about Eichel.
Yeah, like, and I know he's going to Nodak, which is like obviously a legitimate program, but I feel like at this point not talked about like amongst the Hockey East or obviously what Penn State has become over the last year. Like, and then he's going to show up to the draft to be the second overall pick.
Nodak's its own world. Like it's just. I mean, I've never been. I'm trying to make a trip there this year actually, but like, I mean, everything I've seen and heard about that place, like that's NHL.
Yeah,
like that building is unlike anything else in college hockey, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do some college hockey trips this year.
Are you going to ASU for McKenna's first game?
No, I'm trying to go to Penn State though.
Yeah, that would be.
Like I'd
We're
rather
definitely
see
going to Penn State.
Are you going to go to ASU, Sean? I mean,
I would love to. Alone, right? We were discussing it briefly. I would love to see that. Mullet's a cool environment, and I feel like ASU fans are gonna show up for that because I hate Penn State hockey a little bit because they are what ASU should have been. They're the club team with their club coach that went D1 and got an investment, and then they actually won something, and now they're getting the best player in college hockey history potentially. That should. But
I think to counter, like as someone who went to neither school, so there's no bias here.
Yeah,
Penn State is its own little world.
Yes, no, 100%. I understand why.
Nothing around it. There's nothing around. There's nothing around Penn State. Like you go to Penn State and you are in Happy Valley, and that is like the only place you're like. If you're an ASU, like there's other big like Scottsdale is right near. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
no, I agree 100%.
Community. It's like the craziest thing.
And like, admittedly, I think the interest in ASU hockey in large part is like kind of like a novelty as opposed to being like obsessed with all things Penn State sports. Like the hockey, this arena's new, hockey is new. They had Josh Doan for a while. Like there was cool things going on there.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to see how long that novelty lasts. But still, I hate Penn State for having what I want ASU to have.
But also, Sean, like, so I was playing junior hockey when ASU went to D1. So like I played against them their first year D1, and like when they announced they were going to D1, that's where everybody wanted to go. Like that was
it's you're not going to go to a nicer like place that a hockey program exists in. Like
no, if you are a one and done player, that's where you should go.
Yeah, I mean it would be fucking incredible. Especially now that they're in a conference, they play teams consistently. They have a chance of making the tournament, a better chance of making the tournament. Like, didn't you score against ASU? I remember you telling that story at one point. Yeah,
I did. Tying goal with like 5 minutes left. They were a ranked team. We were unranked because I was at Mercyhurst and scored a goal, scraped ice, jumped into Mario Lemieux standing on the glass in the corner because his son was on the team. Sick.
That's hard.
One of my sicker memories. But again, like Sean, you talk about distraction. If you're Gavin McKenna's agent, that's the last place I'm sending you.
I mean, you get distracted by the palm trees and the cacti, let alone the people and the things to do. Like it is, especially if you're coming from Canada, it is quite literally a different planet.
Apparently, every Sunday the ASU hockey team would throw like massive pool parties because Sunday is like your one day of no practice, no responsibilities. Like that was the big day.
I believe it.
Imagine if there was like a Fab Five that just like went to ASU.
There was. The Michigan players that Beniers, Power, those guys, Luke Hughes, who was the fourth? Didn't they have 4 guys picked in the top 5 that year and they lost? Who's the fourth player? It was Beniers, Power, Hughes, and God damn it.
Did they call it the Fab Five and I'm being an asshole?
No, it was only 4 of them, but who's the fourth? Someone in the chat help me out.
I almost found it. Yeah, Owen Power, Beniers, Luke Hughes, Kent Johnson.
Ken Johnson. Yeah. All 4 of those guys won the top
part of the show.
Mackie Samasevich was on that team as well.
Yeah. He had a sick overtime goal in that NCAA tournament, but they lost to Denver, I think, in the Frozen Four, maybe, if I remember
Mackie,
correctly.
did you say?
Yeah, Mackie had an overtime goal in that NCAA tournament, like a snipe. He walked in, like stepped like 2 feet inside the blue line, shot through the defenseman's legs like a rip. I forgot who it was against, but I remember that goal pretty vividly. And,
I heard he's getting traded for Malkin. Yeah. Do you know
if you're Florida, I'm doing that.
Yeah, but
why not? Ride this thing as long as you can.
I know, like you got to have like one young player. You got to have like
Anton
one.
Lundell.
Yeah, yes, you do. Okay, let's wrap it up with the Bruins away uniforms being, I won't say unveiled, but featured more prominently via a video and photo shoot they put out with Mason Lowry modeling them, and everybody is calling them clean. Ooh, these are clean, says Bar Down, says the Bruins, says so many people. I don't know what word you want to use, but I'll say they look amazing. Those are great, Jonny Lazarus.
Are they that different than the ones we saw 2 years ago? The Centennial ones?
Yes, they are that different. Yeah, the Centennial ones were oops, all stripes. There were so many stripes. There were too many stripes.
Yeah.
I have a
Those are nice,
JVR.
I do like them.
What's that?
Those are nice. I do love. I wish they would wear them at home. I love the home white. I know that's a big argument, but
Pete's been banging that drum as well.
yeah.
I mean, I grew up on home whites, so I'm always like home whites, and so many jerseys. So many teams, not so many, but a lot of teams have better white jerseys than their road jerseys, and I think that's such a feather in your cap because with the dark jerseys, you can incorporate so many more things, and I feel like you can have a little more fun with it. But when your white jersey is your standout, it means that it is cooking.
And to me, it's kind of like wearing Boston on the road jerseys versus Red Sox on the home jerseys. Like you rep your city, you rep your colors on the road when you're away.
Yeah.
Like at home, they know what it's about. You wear the whites, but I digress.
Laz, do you wear jerseys?
I love wearing jerseys. Not as like if I go to a game.
Yeah, like you're not one of these. An adult shouldn't be wearing a blah, 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 blah.
No. Only rule I have is an adult shouldn't wear a jersey of a kid younger than them. Like if you're an adult, like if you're a Ranger fan and you're an adult, like wearing Adam Graves jersey because that was your guy when you were growing up. Like I think that is 100%. That's what you should be doing. If you're like a 60-year-old dude and you're buying like a Gabe Perreault jersey, I think that's a little weird.
I mean, I guess I'm currently wearing a jersey of a player that's younger than me. Wearing Logan Cooley.
But that's also a new team, Sean. So like it's kind of
which I wanted to say, by the way, and I know this might get pushed back upon. I think Utah should wear whites at home. I think because it is not whites. It is not. Yes, it is not a it's not like anyone does it right now. So you can't be like they're stealing someone's shit. They're a new team with a very snow kind of focused brand. Like make that your thing before someone else can.
Okay, this is tough for me. I think I only have one jersey of someone older than me. No, I have a Chara jersey.
You guys don't count. You guys don't count. Like you're in media, like the design is amazing. Like you're constantly going to pro shops. Like I wouldn't count that. But like if I'm asking for like a birthday present, you know, like at 29 years old, I'm not gonna ask for like a jersey. I think that's a little like weird, right? I don't know. Although I did get I got my cousin Amika Zibanejad jersey for his 30th birthday.
Hell yeah.
That sucks.
Please tell me that was like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, when did he turn 30?
He turned 30 4 years ago.
Okay,
4 years ago, that's a good
fine.
jersey.
I thought you were like, if you gave someone a Mika Zibanejad jersey now, that's like a gag gift, and that'd be hilarious, respectfully.
It was actually right when Mika was like peaking, actually. It was
okay, that's fine. That rocks.
It's a gag gift. I love that. I'm learning how to sew, so I can make jerseys. I can like stitch players on for you. So who do you want? It has to be older than you?
Who do I want right now?
Yeah.
For who? You said
anybody. What? Bruins, Rangers.
If anyone. I could have one jersey right now in the NHL, it's actually a good question.
I know what mine would be.
What's yours, Sean?
It would be Dmitry Simashev black Utah jersey. I am in on the ground floor on Dmitry Simashev ever since he got drafted. In on the ground floor. Plus, I just want one of the new Utah jerseys.
Yeah.
I'll tell you and I'll get Daniil Boot. Yeah.
The Russian. You
already
got Sergachev, I guess.
Yeah, I do have Sergachev.
We got to rep all the Russians.
Like, are we talking like jersey? Like, I'm trying to think of like a jersey I'd want to wear right now to like a college party.
Oh, okay. That's different. I mean, I think I own the best one. Pete and I own the best one. Quentin Byfield black Kings jersey. The black Kings jerseys are just so sick.
55. That is
55 looks great.
Double numbers are so clean.
Yeah.
I love a double number.
That's a top number.
Ooh.
Well, the thing is, we do a thing. I think we'll do it again this year. We did it last year with Fanatics, where we each got a jersey and we had to guess which jersey we got. And anybody in the chat, any consumer of our show who guessed correctly which any of us got, then had the opportunity to spin a wheel and get a free jersey themselves. So I don't want to totally give away what I would potentially be getting, but
Thinking specifically about the college party, like what I want to wear, like a concert or something like that. I mean, the problem is, like, if we're talking current players, it puts me in a pickle because I'd want a Red Wings jersey, but I don't know. I guess it'd be Patty Kane. Otherwise, I don't know a player that I particularly want.
I could see you in a Mo Sider jersey.
Yeah, Mo Sider. I love German hockey. I loved German hockey, I should say.
Yeah.
Until it broke my heart. Shout out JJ for turning.
Trying to think. I still don't have one. I love the Sharks white uniforms too.
Ooh,
the Sharks started that home colored helmet with the white uniform, and those look amazing when they do it. Not every team can pull that off. I think didn't the Hurricanes end up doing they did.
They pulled out the red on white on red. Yeah, that was a little odd.
That was terrible. What jersey would I want? Honestly, the jersey I really do love, and this is where clean comes in. The Toronto Maple Leafs whites, I think, are just so. If I was getting, I would get a Matty Nyes white jersey. I think.
Yeah, I was just thinking. That's one of 3 teams whose jerseys I refuse to ever put on my body. The Senators and the Bruins. I will never own one of those jerseys, with the exception of a Willie O'Ree Bruins jersey. That's a little different. Otherwise, but I was the Leafs jerseys are, especially the white ones,
they're so nice.
That's a good Matty Nyes Leafs jersey. Dakota Joshua Leafs jersey.
I need the Blackhawks to release their black fucking jerseys so I can get a black Bedard. That shit would rock.
Who else? What's another good one?
By the way, we're due for a Connor Bedard conversation before this season.
I was going to say, we were due for Connor Bedard to be relevant.
A year 3, not now or never, but
Connor Bedard, Olympic camp invitation for Team
Canada.
Which that is not surprising, but we'll see if he actually makes it this time.
But that's always that team would be nice.
That's always gonna until Bedard hits year 5, because everyone. I mean, I don't know if everyone talks about it, but remember McKinnon's first few years, he didn't really. I think McKinnon's year 5 is when I think he made a 40-point jump.
Yeah, and he was a bit pissy, a bit ornery, like Bedard has been called.
Also,
yeah, McKinnon's rookie year, I'm looking at it right now. McKinnon played all 82 games rookie year, had 63 points, but then the following year, 38 points in 64 games, 52 points in 72 games, and then 53 points in 82 games, and then all of a sudden in year 5, 97 points.
Yeah, especially when you start putting Bedard around better players.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gonna have more points.
Bedard, what does Bedard have?
67 points last year.
Yeah, that's a good year.
Very good year.
And people were acting like he was a bust, which is very funny.
Yeah, he makes the jump. I mean, he scores 30 goals this year.
67. This guy, what are we talking about?
He scores 30 goals this year, and he makes the leap to 80 points. He becomes a point of game player.
Interesting betting perspective wise, would you be willing to make a lifelong bet, essentially, or a Connor Bedard career long bet with me?
What would it be?
So right now, Connor Bedard is minus 80. Do you think he finishes his career as a plus?
Oh. Yes. That's
tough.
very quick to say yes, but
yeah,
he has to. But you could be a prolific offensive player with a horrible plus minus. You know, how many years did Ovi put up monster numbers? And
what's Ovi's plus minus career? Let me look it up.
I'm gonna say he will ultimately, because I think
they're gonna be bad again this year, though, Sean.
Yeah, true, but they have the foundations of a good defense and goaltender.
2013-14, Alex Ovechkin, 78 games played, 51 goals, 28 assists, 79 points, minus 35.
Yeah,
so
maybe not.
That could happen.
Yeah,
but looking at his early years, DJ. First year +2, second year -19, third year +28. So he's +11 after year 3. We're talking about Bedard being at -80 right now after 2 years.
Yeah, he needs a +70 to get where
80.
I mean, oh yeah,
It's
that's
only going to
be
get
a
worse,
tough
I think,
one.
this year. He's not finishing
Man.
at plus this year. There's no way.
I want Bedard to make that leap, and I need the. I'm almost getting on some Pete Bo Byram stuff with the Blackhawks, where like they got to make that leap. And Sean, as a Sabres fan, you're gonna be annoyed that like 3 years into this, I'm like, hurry up, be really good.
I mean, that's a normal reaction to have. You should 3 years into the rebuild be like, okay, let's start getting this going.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take you 10 years into the rebuild.
I'm also laughing at Fighting Amish's comment. Even though I'm in my 50s, I'm not mature enough to own a white jersey. It will get stained.
That's real.
part of
Love
the
that.
lure.
That's
Part of
real.
the lure.
Love
They need
that.
a few ketchup cans, you know?
By the way, a jersey I might get. We didn't get any Ducks jerseys last year. We should have a Frank Vetrano jersey on this set.
I mean, I know he's not playing yet, so it would be a little bit of a faux pas, but a Roger McQueen 95 jersey.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's going to be heavily purchased.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man,
for him.
if they still had the purple and teal like legit, because I don't, a hot take, hate these Ducks jerseys.
I don't like them
Hate?
either.
Thank you.
Is that a hot take? I don't like them
I
either.
think it is. It's a hot take, at least amongst the three people on
It's
this
a hot
show.
take here. I love them.
I hate them
love
too.
They're an improvement over what they had, but they're not good jerseys. Anyways, if they had the teal and purple, a white teal and purple Roger McQueen 95 jersey would be an Hall of Fame jersey to me. Like that would be top of the list college party concert jersey.
I'm with that. I fully agree. Stand by everything you just said, Sean.
Thank you.
I am. I don't want to say I'm in on the Ducks this year.
You're definitely
Because like, what does that mean?
Playoffs.
Yeah, but I'm in on the Ducks.
I was
going
to say you're definitely.
Like, I think they're making the playoffs, so I'm in on them.
Yeah.
I agree.
Coaching
Same way you were in
staff
on the Sabres last
is
year.
unbelievable. Roster is improved. Mikhail Granlund contract is weird, but you know what? It means you have Mikhail Granlund now. So let's see. What are their lines looking like per? I mean, this is assuming they keep Mason McTavish.
Yeah.
Which I'm not positive happens, but
I've got it right here. It's Carlson in between Cutter Gauthier and Killorn, McTavish in between Kreider and Terry, Strome in between Vetrano and Granlund, which I think Granlund will probably make his way up, and Killorn will probably make his way down. And then Paling in between Nestorenko and Colangelo. On the back end, I mean, here's the back end. Their left side like is loaded with young talent, like Jackson Lacombe, Olin Zellweger, and Pavel Minchikov. Like those three are so young, so good. Lacombe is unbelievable. Their right side, top two pairs, obviously Racco Gudas and Jacob Trouba, two big bruisers, and then Drew Hellison, who I think Hellison just signed an extension as well. But they signed in Dostal, I think for 5 years, 6 years. But yeah, adding Kreider to the power play, I think is big for them too.
Yeah, I mean their power play was brutal. I don't know if Kreider is going to be a top 6 guy all year. I think that Vetrano might leapfrog him at points.
He should.
Yeah, but those two you can go flip floppy with, and they've got picks. I think too. They've got 3 second-round picks next year. They've got 2 fourths this year. They got their firsts in all the next 3 years. The Gibson trade kind of loaded them up, and they're in a good position, man. And like I said, their coaching staff is awesome. He's been Quenneville's been out of the game for a minute, but like don't sleep on Jay Woodcroft. Don't sleep like Woodcroft as an assistant coach for that team, I think is perfect. Woodcroft's a next step guy. Woodcroft isn't the guy I would want leading my team to a Stanley Cup, but we're not talking about Stanley Cup with this team right now. Like I'm in on the Ducks.
Also, just to I guess lead off of that, DJ. I was with Dan and Chris this weekend at the Pro Athlete Golf Tour, and we were talking to James Wisniewski, who was on that Blackhawks team when Quenneville came in 08-09. Wisniewski ended up getting traded, but like that was right before the Blackhawks started to explode, right? Like they were the young, talented team that hadn't really been anywhere. Then all of a sudden that 09 team gets to the conference final. And then the next year they win the cup. Like there's a lot of similarities between like where the Ducks are right now with where those Blackhawks teams were when Quenneville came in.
Yeah. How was that thing? I saw you dicking around with, were you at Dennis Seidenberg?
Yeah, he's the man.
Love
he's
Dennis
the coolest
Seidenberg.
guy. Yeah, he really is.
German hockey player. What's not to love?
Yeah, had a great time with him. Dan and Chris do a great job with Nate Thompson and 44 Concierge putting on that event. Lots of former NHL players. It was really cool. You'd appreciate it. I mean, hearing stories from Grant Fuhr all weekend was unbelievable. But yeah, really good time, really good event. And, I know those guys have a ton of content coming from it.
I'm not a golfer.
We actually talked about the Ducks a lot too. Like we had a
Yeah?
really long conversation with Del Zotto, which I think is their Thursday episode about Anaheim. Like we really dove into Anaheim for like 30 minutes.
I'm not a golfer. The great Bob Stauffer says
Me
I want
either.
grinders, not golfers. That's the way that I am. But like shit like that, I probably would have sucked. I mean, I would have sucked and not enjoyed the golf part. But like my favorite part of all this shit we do is just like bullshitting with whether it's players or agents or whatever, just like talking to hockey people about hockey. It's such a dorky thing, but ultimately that's when you're like, yo, we're like fucking living in the sandbox here.
Yeah.
We are absolute children getting to do a children's thing, and it rules. Glad you saw those guys. Glad that you did this episode, Johnny. Love you for doing it. This has been a great time, man.
Always. I love you guys. Always fun hopping on. And again, like I love your guys' lingo. I think as far as entertainment goes, like you guys are right up there as far as one of the more entertaining shows in sports, like not just hockey. I love listening to you guys.
Thank you very much. I mean, I will admit, we have been, I don't want to say taking it easy, but we have been strategically resting this summer.
It's hard. Summer's hard. I'm going to talk about.
But it's almost been easier this summer where we've known, like, I'm going away. Pete's getting married. He's like, Sean's going to be away for a little bit, where it's like, we can't go super hard. And last summer, not that we were going super hard, but I would say like, we were trying more to do stuff, and that is a lot of energy trying to find ways to do things when there's not a lot going on. So this summer's schedules have forced us to kind of take a break, but that's been nice. I won't lie. But I know that whether it's your show, all the other ones, like everyone's coming back fast and furious for the season. Yeah. And I am very, 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 very pumped. Thanks again, Johnny. We love you, man.
Love you too.
Everybody, make sure that you are subscribed to the show, whether it's on YouTube, whether it is on wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a review. Say something to the effect of, the hosts were very knowledgeable about hoisting people up on chairs, which is rare for a podcast like this, and leave us 5 stars wherever you can. We appreciate you very much. We will talk to you next week. Ta-ta.
We all silly like the mayor.